That's good. Yeah, that's perfect. Should be all good. Anyway, no more dead air, damn it.
That's why they send us with the big bucks and the engineers who fix everything. All right?
We are
So we're
engineers. We're getting pretty good at this. I'm not gonna lie.
No, I'm not. No,
Yeah,
don't
we
say
are.
we. I'm not. I'm consistently the one at these live remotes that
I think
think
you're doing
everything's
great.
fine.
I think
that
you're.
I dropped the ball.
I think you're doing a great job, Jay.
Consistently, Adam.
I think you're too hard on yourself. Ward, you're a little hard on the Beaver last night.
Right now, Adam's like, Monday I had to pick up the slack for Jay, and he's like, this is what I walk into on Friday. That's what type of show is Front Street involved in. Anyway.
It's all right. But I'll tell you
got a
what,
fun
we're
day.
still drinking some good Front Street beer. We have some
That's
Cherry
right.
Bomb Blonde going. And if you're out and about, you're some holiday shopping in, I'll tell you what, we're right across from the gift shop at the Rhythm City Casino. I'm going to tell you right now, there are some cool jackets here. If you have a lady friend or a male friend out there, I don't know what you're up to, Quad Cityans, get in here, do some shopping, hang out with us, drink a beer. I'm telling you what, there is things. I see some neck rubber things over there. There's cards. There's water bottles. There's watches. Jewelry. You can grab a sandwich. Everything you need. You know what? If you have a lady, right?
Or
Even
a
if you have a
special
man,
friend.
that's a special friend, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Everybody loves a good massage, right? They got a spa down here, Jay. You go in there, you buy the whole package. I want to say it's about $200. Take care of your special friend. They get a rub down. They come home. And they make out with you. You can't beat it, Bird. You cannot beat it. Everything you
No,
need is
can't
right
beat
here at the Rhythm City Casino. I wish I had a catchy song I could sing.
Kind of like a surf beater. You can't beat it. All
You
right.
sure can.
Looking over there at what you said, the gift shop, and you have the Iowa Wave. I saw something that disturbed me earlier about Iowa and their 2020 football season, and I'm going to ask you guys about it, okay? Was on Twitter. Next year's Iowa at Minnesota game, scheduled for September 19th, has been moved to Friday, September 18th. What do you think about a Friday night game on the Big Ten, Iowa versus Minnesota?
So the 18th game has been moved to.
The September 19th game, originally scheduled for a Saturday, has been moved to Friday, September 18th.
I think it's great. You want to know why?
I do.
Because that's the 19th is the day of the halfway to St. Patrick's Day 5K that we run,
Oh,
and we won't have any. And your microphone, you got to put your headphones on. That microphone is killing me right now, so that you know what happens every time you move that thing. Okay? Yeah.
He's right.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, you if you're gonna punish us, I want you to punish yourself.
All right. I'm not. gonna
Anyway, I
move
think
it
it's
anymore.
great. We have no Hawkeye games to get in the way of our fundraiser. It'll probably be our biggest turnout ever. It's outstanding, and we're gonna party our butts off on Friday night. We beat them Gophers.
He's got a point.
You know, yesterday when we had Randy on from the pickleball, and you kept trying to change the rules around, and I said, "Hey, you got to understand this, gentleman." To your right, he's going to take every set of rules and make it about himself and make it work his way. Little did I know when I dropped the fact that it's going to be a Friday night game that you were going to,
Make
with
it go my way.
glee, say that you're happy that a Big Ten game is going to be on a Friday night.
I'm so happy. I might have to go to the bathroom and relieve myself. You know what
Jesus.
That's how happy I am.
Get out of here, Adam. You had to walk into this. All
I
right.
think Adam's used to it by now.
I know he is. All right, so
I've known Adam a long time.
yeah,
He says too long. Hey, speaking of long times, Rosso's here.
there's Rosso.
I love you.
Huh? No,
No rush.
no rush. We just got everything moving up and moving. Yeah, we're here at the right in front of the Draft Day Lounge here at the Rhythm City. Best thing about this is you can watch the games here. They've got on the specials that they have on just on Sundays alone: $2 draft beers and dollar.
Bring the kids. They
dollar
have
off
a
any bottle beer.
they have a train set going around the Christmas tree, Jay.
You can make a bet. You can get after it. There's 3 games tomorrow that we get to pick against the spread.
Bring your
And then we have
kids,
Sunday.
have them make a bet. They'll learn about math.
And then they got the Bears Sunday night game. Then that's what we're gonna do.
I'm
Why don't we
exci-
just jump right into it? Why don't we pick against the spread?
You want to do it?
Yeah. Do you
Every
wanna-
game.
You want? Let's do every game. Let's get right into it.
Every damn game. Are these spreads right?
Yeah.
We're gonna go with them.
Yep.
All right.
Mm.
Well,
You know what
gentlemen.
I'll do? I'll put. Yep. Don't move this. Don't move the microphone. Is what you say. I hear it now. I hear
Yeah.
what you're saying. what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up Elite since we're here, and in case any of the lines are different, we'll go right down the line, okay? Because I don't want to throw anybody off. But go with the first game on Saturday.
I know that. How do we know that dude?
Good dude.
That dude right there. We know that dude.
Squirrel.
Yeah,
I know we know that dude.
Okay.
I met that dude.
Come on out here to Elite Sportsbook so we can say, hey, there's that dude. Come hang out with us.
I know that dude.
All right.
Sorry, squirrel.
All right. The Houston Texans at Tampa Bay. On our sheet says -2.5. It is actually Texans. It has been bet up to Texans -3.
Texans -3.
Yep.
I'm taking Tampa Bay all day long, baby.
Houston for me.
Oh, Adam, that's dumb.
I said this yesterday. I'm going to say it again. If there's a prop bet, which I'm sure there is, and we can look at it.
You'd solve it. Check out the hook when my DJ revolves it.
Yes. Jameis Winston plus 1.5. 1.5 over under interceptions. I'm taking Jameis at the over. Taking the Texans on the road, giving up the points. I'm with Adam.
Attaboy.
Where's my Sergi at?
Houston on the road.
Yeah, buddy.
Oh, looks like you guys are all going to start out with an L. Huh.
Come for love.
Oh, L for love. All righty. We got the Buffalo Bills at the New England Patriots. This game is Howard Huge.
Opened up at 6.5, has been bet down by the Sharps to +6 or -6, however you want to look at it. -6, the Patriots are the favorite here. So it has changed a little bit.
Sergi, what's your motto here?
Why bet against Tom Brady?
I'm with you. I'm taking New England, Jay.
Buffalo for me.
I'm with Adam, and I'm with the Allens. Josh Allen in this case.
Still riding that train.
Boy.
Yeah, I'm still riding that train because last time I said I can't bet against the Patriots, I bet for them and they didn't cover. So this is not the Patriots of 2 years ago or last year
Hey, they won the Super Bowl
or
last
10
year.
years ago or 12 years ago.
That's it. They're done.
That's
Stick a
what I'm
fork in 'em.
saying. Yeah. That's the headline.
Are you sucking up to your brother for like a Christmas present or something?
Me,
What's going
no,
on?
I'm not at all. I'm saying they're not the same Patriots team. I'm taking
Oh,
the
all right.
Bills.
They're not the same Patriots team. They are now the second best record in the NFL.
Do they have the second best?
They're tied for the second best record in the NFL.
Because they play in the second worst division in
okay.
the NFL.
All right.
Watch your mouth.
What division do you think I was talking about?
You know what division
Hey
you're
there,
talking
pal.
about.
How
He
do
knows
you,
who first is.
what do you
Just-
are you like the person on Facebook that you make a vague statement and everyone says, "What was that about me?" What's going on over there, T? Right?
I don't know. Why? Did someone catch on to that vague statement?
Nah, not yet. They're not smart enough.
Well, that's about right.
Yeah.
I'm going to go out on a limb here and bet on the Patriots.
Okay.
Yeah, me too.
I got a hunch these guys are up and coming.
Are they
That Tom-
special? Are they
Hey, that
special?
Tom Brady special guy. I asked Erickson. He told me.
They're done. They're awful.
He was ringing his cowbell when he said it, but. So I got a fever. The only cure is more cowbell.
Okay.
He loves him. He's going to go scream it from the rooftop.
All right.
Now there has been a running joke statement. Mainly, it's fictional, and it was even said earlier today with a young lady here at River City that I may or may not get sweet on some teams in the NFL.
Right. That happens.
And this next team, based out of Los Angeles, which has got a huge fan base, the Rams, it may have been said last 2 weeks that I was sweet on them. And they're playing against San Francisco, which the 49ers are going to have a great rap song here soon
Jesus, please.
because of the Ain't Nothing But a Jimmy G Thing, baby. They're playing each other on Saturday night.
Yeah, but didn't my Cowboys ruin your crush?
About the Rams?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I said may or may not have a crush. I'm saying
All
you say that I change
we-
NFL teams like
we
I wouldn't
crushed
do
them.
that. You
We
say
crushed them.
change NFL teams like
Underwear.
Yeah.
Well, anyway,
All right,
what's
Rams and San Francisco.
What's San Fran favorite in this?
They are favored by 6.5. It's opened up at 6.5 and it stayed at 6.5. So the bets are right down the middle. Pros and Joes. No one knows which way to go. Where are we at here?
Well, this one's tough, Jay.
Is it? Is it?
I think the Rams are going to try to play the spoiler. They'll cover the spread. I'll take the Rams.
Serge?
I'm actually right with T-Roy on that one.
I am too. I don't think the 49ers are very healthy on defense right now. I still think the Rams got a little bit left in the tank. I'm going with the Rams.
Well, I don't think it's nearly enough. I think 49ers are going to light them up.
Wow.
We couldn't get a hell yeah out of that.
Had a hell yeah.
We were close. We were so close.
Way to mess it up, Adam.
Yep.
All right, so for Saturday, I've got the Texans in the points, I've got the Bills in the points, and I've got the Rams in the points. It's a points all day Saturday.
Well, the Texans, you're giving up the points, but yeah.
Never mind, the Texans, I'm giving up the points.
Can't wait to like the second quarter when Jay's like, ah, damn it, there goes my lead on
I know.
all those games.
And I'm wearing glasses, and I can't even read the minus plus 3.
It's all right.
All right.
We're here to help you, bud.
It's on both sides of the paper, too. Never is.
Sunday.
All right, we
The
got
Jacks from Jacksonville travel all the way down to Atlanta.
all the way up, Jay.
All the way up to Atlanta.
Didn't you teach geography?
Come on down.
Stop.
You
There's enough
didn't?
people
You
on-
weren't a geography teacher?
I was, yeah.
All right.
I was.
That was the reason you got out of it.
Yeah, maybe that's it.
All right, Jacksonville at Atlanta. Jay, it says the Falcons are favored by 7.5 on my paper. What do you got?
Yeah, it says it's actually now down to 7. That's been bet down to +7 Jacksonville or -7 Atlanta, however you want to look at it. Jacksonville's in a weird thing. They just fired Tom Coughlin, which I guess is a good move on their end. They were probably going to let him go anyway. It just says Tony Khan sitting there saying, I'm going to take control of this team. Do you realize that they have one winning season in the last 10 years? All the other ones are double-digit losses.
Really?
Yeah. Okay. This is Atlanta. I don't want to start this at all. It's Atlanta's involved in this game. You guys know how I feel about Atlanta. I'm on the wrong side of it. So how about I just abstain on the vote on whether or not to.
I'm gonna take the Falcons for no particular reason. I'm just like Forrest Gump. I'm Forrest Gump in that one.
I'm going to take the Falcons because they're way better than the Jags.
For no particular reason?
Yeah,
I mowed that lawn for free.
I think this year or this week the Falcons aren't going to be better than the Jags.
This week they won't?
They will.
Oh, okay.
They will. I'm with you guys. I got the Falcons. No reason why. I think this week they show up. Next week maybe they don't.
Take those points, Jay. What do you got?
I'm back with the Falcons. Give me a hell yeah.
There we go.
All right. Hell yeah.
Could I get a hell yeah? Hell yeah.
I'm back in. Giving up the points. Taking the home favorite. I love everything about this. I think it's a good. I actually do think this is a good bet. By the way, I think Jacksonville has no identity whatsoever with Nick Foles, Gordon Minshew. I mean, they're not Saxonville anymore. Tom
Gardner.
Coughlin, Gardner Minshew. What did I say?
Gordner.
Yeah.
Gordon.
And then Tom Coughlin. I don't think they have an identity anymore.
Gordo Minshew.
Neither do I think Atlanta does as well either. But they're better and they're at home. I like this bet a lot.
All right, Jay, this next one coming up. Baltimore at Cleveland. What do you got? What's the
Let's
spread?
see. This opened up at
6-8. What a horrible record.
This opened up at Baltimore favored on the road by 10.5. It is now down to Baltimore favored by 10. They are road favorites. Cleveland a home dog.
Oh man, I'm telling you what, this is the payback game. I've been saying it all week. I'll take Baltimore. Adam,
Yeah, I'm with you. I think they're going to put a hurting on Cleveland.
Sergi.
Yeah, Baltimore by 20.
Okay, Jay.
God, I am
Oh, come on.
completely torn here.
You're
don't
kidding.
want to. You
You're
don't want to
kidding
hell
me.
yeah.
Divisional game
Yeah.
at home, getting 10.
They are in disarray right now, Jay.
Cleveland.
They are fighting amongst each other. Dogs and cats living together. It'll be
All
anarchy.
right, if it was the Patriots at the Dolphins, divisional game at Miami.
That's a really good point, Serge. That's a really good point.
You know, this time in the year, I don't think that divisional game matters when it's this lopsided. I think Baltimore is just hands down that much better.
It's well, they are.
I think this is
and
a trap you're about to fall in.
and Baltimore needs to pay him back for what Cleveland did to them at home. I am going to give up the points. Reluctantly, though. I just everything
You
says.
might have this.
Reluctant, hell yeah.
You might have this covered by the first quarter.
No,
So
it's
can
hell
we get
yeah.
a reluctant?
I think what
hell
Serge
yeah?
said makes the most sense right there, and that
About time.
It really did. If it was Patriots at the
least
Dolphins,
somebody
what would you
listens.
do? Yeah, that makes
I listen
sense.
to you
So,
every
yeah.
day, buddy.
Thanks, bud.
Not quite a hell yeah, more of a heck
No,
yes.
no, no. Now we're gonna give a hell yeah. Can I get a hell yeah?
Heck yeah.
Hell yeah.
What Serge said made sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, next
Took a
game.
year and a half.
Next game.
That's not true. It's not the first time I've ever agreed with you.
Feels like it. Nolans at Tennessee. New Orleans giving up 1.5.
Thanks for having me today, guys.
You're out.
This
You're
is
gonna leave
now
while it's
at,
good.
I'm not leaving.
Yeah,
1.5. This has been bet up, by the way. The pros are in on New Orleans. They've actually moved this up to -2.5.
Ooh, huge.
Huge.
So, anyway, Saints on the road. They've got the South locked up. Am I right on there? I know they've got their playoff. Tennessee Titans are still fighting for the AFC South.
Tennessee's fighting for a playoff spot, man. Still.
I'm actually taking the home dog here. I'm taking the 2.5 points.
You're going to take the Titans, huh?
Yes, I am. Yeah.
All right. Adam?
I can't believe this line isn't bigger. Give me
That's
the
kind of
Saints
what I
all
was
day.
thinking.
Saints?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm sorry. He just broke all the records, and, yeah, he's great.
I mean, I just don't. I don't understand. The only question is I don't understand this Tennessee team. They've had sparks of
Greatness.
greatness, like on and off all year, but it's on and off.
I don't think they're a bad team. I think, there's Brebs. I know that dude.
He's like, shh.
Jeez. I know that dude.
Like how we blow everyone's cover coming to the
Yeah.
casino.
When they-
Hey, Jimmy. Hey, Jim. Good to see you. How's the wife?
Hey, Mike.
I'll tell you.
How you doing?
I'll tag you on a show. I'll tag you on Facebook. Let everyone know. Yeah.
We used to have a buddy that would tag us in at the strip club in the golf course.
Not good.
No,
Not good.
tag us in the golf course when
There's Julie. I know her,
when-
too.
we ditched out of work on a Friday at 1:00 one day, and our buddy tagged us in at the golf course.
No, you do not need to check in, folks.
So we started tagging him in at the strip club every Friday.
Yeah, that's great.
We weren't even there.
Yeah.
No, what'd you take here, Jay?
I took the Titans.
Oh, I mean Serge. Sorry.
I'm still taking New Orleans.
Okay.
I don't believe this Titans team can hang with somebody that good. And like I said, I don't know why that spread's not bigger either.
All right, Jay's other Allen, Kyle,
Oh yes.
traveling to play
Oh yes.
Adams, Indianapolis Colts. Colts are favored by 6.5, Bird.
It has stayed at 6.5 since the opening, so no one's moving this line one way or the other. Kyle
Lame
Allen
duck coach, lame quarterback. I'm taking the Colts all day and
taking the Colts.
winning
I'm
big.
with you. I'm swimming and paddling in the same boat, the same lake, everything else. Colts all day.
I thought I was going to have to justify my homerism here for you guys, but you're on board, so.
I haven't picked yet. I haven't picked yet though.
Serge.
I'm going with Colts. I got you.
Oh,
Say that again.
Bowl season. 10 minutes.
Oh, the first kickoff.
There we
Okay,
go.
Yeah.
can we get an enthusiastic hell yeah? By the way,
Yeah,
for
yeah.
Adam.
First
We did-
kickoff or bowl season
Wait,
starts
we
in
did
10
a hell
minutes.
yeah on that?
Yeah.
one
So my
o'clock?
Colts are going to lose.
Oh no,
Our hell yes have had a decent record.
You guys are going to be fine. You probably just won't cover the spread. All right, Cincinnati at Miami, the battle of the basement, the battle of the guys that swim in the toilet, whatever you want to call it. Two poops fighting it out. What are we going to do?
Wow.
Keep that streak going.
I didn't talk about my own.
Can't say poop on the radio. Oh yeah, watch me.
I thought you could.
Oh gosh. Oh, I love the fact that this is even on one app here.
What is it, Jay? Is it a pick'em?
I'm sorry. What are we looking at here? I'm trying to. We have 10 minutes to get it.
Cincinnati, Miami.
To get a bet. in.
Bengals and
Right.
Dolphins.
Hey, Jay, calm down.
Dol-
You say squirrel to me. She says in 10 minutes till the game starts. He's like, I got to make a bet.
Yeah, I figure we can do something on the air.
Here's a
Priorities.
question. Here's a
We can
question.
take a break.
This might sound dumb here, but if it's even, can I bet for it to be a tie?
Yeah.
That's weird. win. Someone's got to win at the end.
If only
No.
if only we knew a place
can
where
tie.
we could
Not in
Regular-
college, you can't.
Regular season, you can.
regular season.
NFL,
Yes,
you
you
can.
can.
NFL, you can,
Abs-
but not in college. I'm talking about a college bowl
Well,
game.
we're talking about the NFL game.
All right, right now.
Get on our
Cin-
page.
Cincinnati
Squirrel.
Bengals-
Hey, Jim.
Hey, what do you say, Steve?
Where did I just look?
I don't know.
All right.
Oh, you know you do that one, Jay? Here, watch this. You see that dead bird up there?
Yeah. I get it.
Get it.
Bonnie.
God damn it, you guys. Gosh darn it, you guys.
Oh, yes.
All right,
so
Dolphins.
that was my question.
Dolphins -1.
If it is okay, if it's even, 'cause if it goes to even by kickoff, can you bet on it to be a tie?
Yeah.
That's a good question.
If only we knew a place where we could
Yeah.
ask somebody.
All right, it's Dolphins -1.
Hannah, we have a
I'm
question.
telling you right now, I'm the Dolphins all day long. Why does she keep shaking her head no? Why does she not want to be on our radio show?
Yeah, I don't know why. You want to be on this radio show.
It's 6 minutes till college bowl season officially kicks off. She's got a line halfway down the aisle, and we're trying to get her to come over
Yeah,
here.
don't worry about what's
They're
going on.
fine.
to reel her in right
They're
now.
fine. Just be on the honor system.
For those of you who are
Just
on
move
the
your desk
app,
over here.
I'm gonna move this over here. Those of you who are
Never
on
know
the
what she's
app-
doing over there. What is she doing?
All
Hi, how's it going?
Guys, I'm on the Dolphins -1. What about you guys?
Sure.
Man.
Sure.
You know what? I said this earlier in the week, man. The Bungles are going to win this game.
Yeah, Cincinnati? Question mark. But yeah, I'll take Bengals.
There you
Plus
go.
the 1.5.
Sergi?
Let's ask Bills. Bill, what do you think?
What do you say, Steve?
He says Bengals. I'll go Bengals.
Uh-oh, Jay. You're all by yourself.
Yeah.
Viva la Miami.
Let me.
No, here, I'll switch. I'll go Miami. Just split it 2 and 2.
Let me break this up real quick for those
That's how
who are
confident I am.
downloading the app or getting into the app for Elite Sportsbook here, and tell you about
Is
the
that
first
Vern
bowl game
Lundquist?
of the 2019-2020 season. It is Buffalo, who is 0-3 all-time in bowls, including a 10-point loss to Troy in the last season's Dollar General Bowl in
That's
Mobile,
right.
Alabama.
I kicked their butt.
It's in its 5th BSS season. Right now, Buffalo is
So
straight up 7-5.
Buffalo's college team is bad at winning bowls too.
Yeah,
Oh,
against the
man.
spread, they're 7-5, but they are -6.5 favorites against Charlotte, who is against the spread 6-6.
Hey, guys, Marge is here.
Hey, Marge.
So
Margie.
Got him again.
Buffalo -6.5. Yeah, give up the points. 1 o'clock. It's gonna kick off here in 6 minutes. Anyway, that's my college football roundup, real quick. Get really excited.
That was exciting, Jay.
What are you waving at?
Man, waving at people as they go by. I'm a friendly neighbor.
Do you know her?
Might as well. I'm a friendly neighbor.
Does he know the dolphin? Did you talk to him?
You know what? Since we got on, I think we should take a quick break though, and then come back and do the rest of the games. Just because it's before the hour, we have to get these advertisements in. All right? No, they'll do it. They'll do it back in the studio.
Oh, they're going to
Don't-
read it back.
Do
in the
not
stu-
give me that look like you didn't bring me the ads. Whatever.
Didn't
you know what
say
I'm,
a word.
You know what the top of your head. We have Front Street Brewery. When we come back, we'll talk Front Street Brewery.
You
But
want an
know-
ad? You want the ads?
Did you take pictures of them?
I sure did.
Look at you.
Front Street Brewery, the oldest brew pub in the state of Iowa, is nestled beautifully along the bank of the
So
mighty
pretty.
Mississippi. It's served the fine community of Davenport, Iowa since 1992 with awesome
That's right.
beers such as the Davenport Gold. Satisfying American ale, pale straw in color with the sweet corn-like aroma and a crisp, clean finish. Smooth, balanced, and refreshing. The Wise Guy, it's their take on the instantly recognizable German wheat beer that staked its claim on palates around the world. Brewed with noble German yeast, this refreshingly sweet and smooth brew features a citrusy tart aroma with significant notes of banana and clove. Or the Raging River, the English-inspired American India Pale Ale with incredible balance, featuring an earthy, slightly fruity hop aroma with moderately bready malt notes. A bronze-colored IPA that you don't need Jay's beer to drink. This is your gateway IPA. Check out their Facebook page for food and drink specials. Also, visit their webpage at www.frontstreetbrew.com.
And we're out. All right, we're back here in the Hassel Castle, which has been replaced by the Rhythm City Casino here in Danport. We should photobomb that selfie right there.
This has gone from just complete like I'm worried about everything to
It's Friday.
yeah.
It's
I
Friday
just
shows
laugh.
the
I
best.
just laugh everything off.
Friday shows are the best.
Yeah, Fridays are the best.
God, I
You
had
get to
so many
drink
more
beer
things-
with Adam.
I had so many more things to talk about too. We'll get to that. Just strange, random things.
Like what?
Just we'll get to it. We're in the
right.
middle of picking against the spread here.
All right, so right now we are on to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Our friend Vascow. If you're out there listening, buddy, Merry Christmas.
Which he is.
Merry Christmas to you, Mr. Vascow. They're traveling to New York to take on the Jets, Jets. Sorry, Z-Bar, I don't think your team has it in them.
This has been bet down now. It's to open up at Steelers as road favorites at -3.5. It has been bet down to -3.
I'll take the Steelers all day. It's a playoff team. They have a better coach.
Great coach.
Duck is better than Darnold. See?
I by the way, during commercial break, I bet $5 to win $4.55 on Buffalo -7. See? So Elite Sportsbook. Don't think I don't partake in your thing going on. Here it is.
You practically fund this place.
Yeah, like here you go. I did it.
He's a whale.
She was.
Welcome to the J. Foster Sportsbook.
Is it Hannah over there?
Yes.
She was
Hannah.
fantastic. She goes, put your phone in your pocket. You can't have it out there, and I need you to just confirm the bet. She was fantastic. So stop here at Elite Sportsbook, right in front of the Draft Day Lounge.
Why do you have to have your phone in your pocket?
I don't know. Apparently, I might be on the phone with someone from Vegas. I have no clue. She just said you need to put your phone in your pocket. I said okay.
Oh, look at this. And Julie's bringing us beers right now. Oh, so
nice.
great of her.
Is that for me or is that for Adam?
That's for Adam.
Can I keep this glass? Can I keep this glass?
Yeah.
She said that reluctantly.
See?
She only said it because she's on the air. She knows it. She did not want to give me the.
Maybe
okay.
they've got some in the gift shop over there.
Yeah.
That gift shop is
I think-
full of good
Please
stuff.
go back
over
into that 90-second thing about the gift shop and massages or whatever.
Well, I want to
Please.
talk about how.
Well, the
I'm
gift shop, if you haven't noticed, the female mannequins have nipples.
I didn't.
I have
chilly in here.
nipples.
I didn't, and I looked
We
over
all
there
do,
again.
fucker.
It's F-O-C-K-E-R. Meet the Fockers. I got
Yeah, you
nipples.
didn't notice?
Milk me, Focker. Not to bag on J-Day here, but
Well, who
Jay-
else is
Jay-
taking the Steelers?
No,
with
how
them?
about a bar savvy person such as Jay Foster just became that guy and says, "Can I keep this glass?"
He did. He
I like-
totally did.
I like that Bud Light neon. Can I have it?
This is all true. These are all true.
Sweet Front Street poster. Can I take it? Sure. The promotion ended yesterday. Take the poster. I don't care.
Can I have the Kathy Ireland cutout?
No, it's coming with me.
All true.
The painting was a gift, Roy.
All true. All true. What's the next game
Let's
on
play
the docket?
Tummy Sticks.
Next
Oh, we still
game
gotta finish out
is
Pittsburgh here.
yeah.
Okay.
Who's taking the Steelers with Tira? Come on.
I'm with you on that one too.
So am I.
All right.
Me.
Oh, look at that. We got a coming back from
hell
break
yeah?
with a hell yeah.
We should have tricked her. Said, "Can I take this glass? Give me a hell yeah."
Yeah. She didn't bring me a beer though.
Well, Jay, give her time.
Well,
Jeez.
All right.
But in Jay's defense, that is a really cool glass. The Elite Sportsbook logoed pint glass. That's pretty slick.
It looked nice. You're right though, Serge. I shouldn't do that. I shouldn't.
You know what?
You haven't gotten one of those with like perks points yet?
No, I haven't. I'm not.
Them,
That's
them
like every-
$5 bets.
Okay,
man.
here I'll throw myself under the bus. Every time we're out of town, go to a bar, like it's that meme. Don't say it. Don't say it. Don't say it. Well, I'm a bartender too, so I'll have a. Why? Why do I have to do it?
Yeah.
Maybe the tattoos on my arms of all the bar tools maybe give it away.
Jay, when your perk points get up, do you get free like Andy's mints? Over
What
at
are you
the,
talking about?
I mean, with all those $5 bets, how many Andy's mints have you?
the $5 bets. I don't think they're making a lot of money off the $5 bets
I don't know.
here and there.
They add up.
Gets the pit boss to comp him a handful of mints.
I didn't
Yeah.
have I didn't have a lot of time during the commercial break, and I would have tried to figure out to parlay a lot of things in
Heard
here.
the pit boss gave him a stick of juicy fruit.
Get right
All right.
through you.
We have a thrilling game. The Giants of New York are going to take on the Redskins of Washington.
I don't know if I like it better when it's Angry T-Roy with the internet or the one who just wants to keep poking the bear at Jaybird. I don't know.
I love Jay Bird. I'm not poking the bear.
Okay.
What do you mean? I don't want to be in trouble.
All right.
You know how these cherry bombs get him all fired up.
I love two-beer T-Roy.
All right, where are we at now? I'm sorry.
All the girls do.
I apologize. What's the next?
I'm rubbing Serge's legs.
What are we on next?
Not that lonely.
You will be.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
Giants and Redskins. He said it.
Oh,
He was,
okay.
he was actually serious and correct.
Here's another. Talk about 10-loss teams. I think they've got a decade of 10 losses underneath them, the Redskins now.
There are 22 combined losses between these two teams this year. They're both
And Dallas is
both-
responsible for 3 of them.
I'm taking the Giants.
3 of
and the
Dallas's
points.
7 wins.
Yes.
Giants are going to win for the 3rd week in a row. I'm calling the Giants to win outright because Eli is going to cement his legacy.
Oh, Mookie's out there listening, you guys. You
I
gotta
am not the
behave.
first. I will say this. If you listen to Bill Simmons and Cousin Sal on their podcast,
Yes.
how interesting would this be if Canton, the home of the Hall of Fame, said everything your Hall of Fame, Eli, all relies on whether or not you finish above 500. How much would you be in tune to every single snap that he took? He's 117 and 117 now.
He's going to be 117 and 118 after tomorrow.
He's winning outright. It's
Really?
Sunday. Yeah, he's winning outright. He's winning
No,
this game.
I'm taking Washington, baby.
No, give me Giants.
My point is this: wouldn't
Adam,
you,
no way.
wouldn't
Serge?
you love this game? Wouldn't you love this game so much more if you know that Canton said you have to be above 500?
But they're not going to do that. I get it, yeah.
T-Roy.
I know it's
We
hypothetical.
talk about a lot of dumb stuff on this show.
No, we
now,
don't.
now all of a sudden
How
to be
dare
like, to
you.
be like, how
How
you can't
dare
make up
you?
this
How dare
hypothetical.
you cheapen my show by saying that?
You're telling me right now you wouldn't watch every single snap.
Yes, I would.
It'd be great.
Because I want to watch him fold like a cheap suit.
I've got the Giants outright. Adam, what'd you say? I'm
You already
sorry.
said
I
Giants.
took
Yep.
Giants as well.
See,
I'm sorry, T-Roy. I got to go Giants, too.
Oh,
The Redskins
boy.
are just that much worse than the bad Giants. I mean,
Well, okay. Fine, guys.
He's still a Manning.
If you're not with me or against me,
there
I
you
guess.
go. There you go. I like that. He's still a Manning.
look at that.
All right. Ooh.
Yeah,
Shirts,
nice.
Jay. Look, you
Yeah, I
just.
know. Opening this up.
He needs
Look-
an extra small.
All right. I don't know why that
That
happened.
was mean. Extra small? It was extra medium.
Why we did that there? Why we
Extra
did it.
medium.
Hazel Marie, you better listen to what your mommy tells you out there.
Thank you very much. Enjoy your glass.
Jay got a glass. We got shirts.
I'll take a 1X.
Hazel's listening to Daddy on the radio. This is a great day, you guys.
All right. What's the next game?
All right, next game up, gentlemen. The Detroit Lions are taking on the Denver Broncos.
Yep.
It was 6.5, Bird.
It is stayed at 6.5. There's no movement at all over this, and the over/under is at 38.5, which means it's going to be just a great game to watch. This is one of our
It stayed at 6.5.
one of our 4 afternoon games that we have on Sunday.
Listen, I like the Broncos. I like the talent they have on that team. I think their coach might not be a great coach,
You're not.
but I'm going to take the Broncos, man.
All right.
Adam, what do you think, Big Cat?
I'll take the Tigers plus the points.
The Tigers? Okay.
Yeah, we're back to that. That's great. I'm so happy you remembered that.
Let's bring him Monday back.
Yeah.
Sergi?
Gosh, I mean,
the Tigers plus the
I
points.
really like this line. So I'm gonna go with the home team here. Let's go Denver.
Yay!
I think the Lions don't have anything to play for, so
What are you taking there, Foster?
I'm
With your-
taking the ponies versus the Tigers.
That's right.
I'm taking the ponies. Yeah, I'm giving up the points at home.
All right.
Hopefully, Drew Lock can find that magic that he had 2 weeks ago.
Listen,
Last week, not
he
so
played
much.
the Chiefs, man. The Chiefs are good, dude.
Yeah.
Can't be hating on them.
Okay.
All right.
What do you got next for me?
I'm going to have Hazel's going to guess this game for me. So, Mookie, I want you to tell me what Hazel takes. Hazel, you either can take the Oakland Raiders or the Los Angeles Chargers.
the Pirates are the lightning bolts.
And the Chargers are favored by 5.5. Jay, is that still holding true?
No, this has been moved quite a bit to -7. The Chargers are favored by 7 now.
Man, the Sharps must have been or the public must be all over the Oakland, huh?
In the last
Oh.
4 games,
Hazel
5
takes
games.
the
I'm sorry.
Pirates. She's
In the
taking
last
Oakland.
5 games. First off, I'm going to start with this. I'm giving up the points in the Chargers. Oakland Raiders, another team that you may say you could have said that at one point I was sweet on. In the last 5 games. No, I'm sorry. I'm not even saying the 5 games. Last 5 games, they've scored 20 points in the third quarter. They just don't put together a full game. Phillip is playing for his legacy.
He's playing for his 14 kids.
Of course. Like I said, I'm giving up the points here for the home team, but not really a home game. But I'm giving up the 7 Chargers. Raiders are just going to regroup and figure out everything.
You're taking
and
the
move it.
Chargers?
I am. And
Hazel took Oakland, and she said, "Arr."
She did.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm taking Oakland with my baby girl.
Oh.
Sergi, what are you doing?
I'm going to go with Hazel on this one.
Oh, there you go, Hazy. You got another one on your
I'm
team.
going to take the Hazels versus the Chargers.
There you go.
Arr.
Yeah, I think the old man's going to get it done. I'll go with Jay. And
Okay. We'll split it up there.
Way to break my daughter's heart, Adam. Way to go, bud.
On the Harrington's Pub Facebook comment thread here, Lumi has some added info when I mentioned the 22 combined losses between those two teams.
Yeah.
Is the same amount of losses the New England Patriots, the struggling New England Patriots have had in the last 7 seasons.
Woo! That's averaging more than
That's
over
3 a
over
season.
3 a season. That's averaging over 3.
Just 3 a season.
That's a struggle.
They are on a downward spiral.
That is a struggle. That's tough.
I don't think they're very good.
Well, are they special though? Is the question.
Well, I haven't talked to Erickson yet.
Okay.
Erickson, I need you to type in.
Oh, he already said that we were.
Did you get another afternoon game for me there, T-Roy?
I do.
And what is it?
It is Hazel's favorite team, the Dallas Cowboys.
poor
Go
girl.
Cowboys. Against the hated,
Everything about this game.
the diabolical, the nasty Philadelphia Eagles. But I love Julian Vandervelde.
This is opened up at Cowboys -2.5. It's currently Cowboys -2. They are favored on the road.
Well, you know where I'm going.
Yeah.
Dallas is going to win this game, guys.
Here's what you do with this bet.
Carson Wentz is 2-4 in his career against Dallas. He's going to be 2-5 after tomorrow.
Here's what you do with this bet.
Whatever day it is.
You go to Elite Sportsbook and you open up an account. And then, as the Cowboys drive down the field and score a touchdown
Watch your mouth, Jay.
in the opening drive,
Watch
you
that mouth.
immediately bet, live bet, and you take the Eagles +9.5 immediately as soon as the Cowboys drive down the field. If the Cowboys decide not to defer, or whatever, I mean, is it?
You saw what they did to the Rams, right?
Did they decide to defer? Maybe not. Does the NFL step in and say like, "Hey,
What's up, Steve?
Don't. I did it. I did it.
I did it to make you shut up.
I mean, does the NFL have to step in the middle of halftime and say like, "Hey, that's not fair to the Cowboys, even though they didn't
See,
defer"?
You're the one poking the bear right now. Why don't you be more Christmassy? Santa Claus is watching you, Jay.
Okay.
All right? Santa Claus is watching us all.
I'm taking
We
the
should all be happy
Cowboys
and nice. It's
on the
Christmas.
road to cover, but I'm telling you, once they drive down the field and score, eat up the points, bet live, take the Eagles.
Whatever. Adam.
Yeah, Cowboys.
That's right. That's my boy.
Philadelphia Eagles can't stand them. They stink.
Stand 'em.
Go back to Philadelphia where they came from. Let's go Cowboys.
That's my boy.
Can I get a hell yeah?
Hell yeah!
In the other afternoon game, the Battle of the Birds, right?
By the way, Philadelphia hasn't played a good team in 4 weeks. So that
right.
was my reasoning.
They might not be playing a good team
They
right
don't
this
even-
week either.
Yeah, they don't even-
But it's not near as bad as the teams that they have been
Yeah.
playing.
you
good
can't
point.
name a starting receiver for the Eagles either. All right.
No.
The Cardinals at the Seahawks.
Dude, this song playing is awesome, by the way.
It is a good song.
Fascination. Is this Human League?
Yes.
Love it. All right.
Uh,
Cardinals coming off a thrilling victory over the Browns, right? I mean, that was good. Good building point for that
Yeah.
for that team.
Open up
that
at 9.5.
organization.
Cardinals are getting 9.5 on the road, and it stayed at 9.5. Seahawks are favored.
The Cardinals are going to need all of them points. I'm sorry. I think Seattle knows they're in the driver's seat, and unlike what happened with San Fran, they're not beat up. They're fairly healthy right now, other than Rashad Penny. But Chris Carson can handle the load. I like this. I like this Seattle team. I'll take them all day.
That's too many points, Steve.
It's
too many points.
A lot of points is the only thing because
Kyler is playing for Rookie of the Year. He's going to try to steal it from Jacobs.
Doesn't he sound like he could be a stripper with a name like that?
Kyler, absolutely, 100%. I'm taking the points on the road. I'm taking the 9.5 in a heartbeat.
Okay. Adam, what do you think, buddy?
It's a lot of points, but Seattle at home, it's tough. I'll take Seattle.
All right, Serge.
it's a lot of points, but Arizona's that bad. Let's go Seattle.
All right, Jay, you're on your island on your own. Hopefully you don't.
I know what he's doing.
Jay, don't be getting too far on one side of that island. It could tip over.
Islands in the stream. Yeah, that's
That is what we are.
The one in between. All right, Kansas City, the Sunday night game.
At
Chiefs
the Bears.
At the Bears. The Chiefs are road favorites at -6.
Oh, it jumped to 6?
It jumped from 4.5 to 6.
Wow.
And
this game, at the beginning of the year, you guys, we had this circled as a standout game. It's not that it's a bad game.
I was going to go to this game. Even though the date and the temperature, I was going to go to this game.
I love the Bears in this game. I'm sorry. I'm taking the points. I'm serious. I love the Bears in this game.
Yeah, I don't blame you for that.
I love the Bears' defense in this game. I don't care.
I see
If
where
Smith
your
is down
head's
for the
at,
year.
but I got to stick with what I've been preaching. This Kansas City team is putting it together at the right time. I think they just have too much offensively. So I'm going to take the Chiefs.
That is too many points, buddy. They may win it, but they're not going to
Okay.
win it by 6.
Serge, you're taking the Bears?
I'm taking the Bears, actually.
Okay.
I don't do that very often this year.
Adam?
Yeah, 6 makes it a little tougher, but still give me Kansas City. I think they're going to take care of business.
Yeah, that one, I feel that game could go either way with the spread. I think we all think the Chiefs are going to win, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
Okay.
but I don't think it's going to be by more than 6. And the Monday night game, the Packers at the Vikings.
It's a good one, isn't it?
The one that every Packer fan doesn't understand the spread, and every Viking fan can justify the spread. If you're on social media, it's kind of like how you don't understand how a president can be impeached, and someone can justify how they are impeached.
Deerfield out there listening?
Yeah, I don't know.
This
All right.
opened up.
He's being quiet.
Here's this one out. Hear me out on this one. When we guessed the lines,
Yeah.
this was Vikings -4.
Yeah,
Right?
this is the one that I saw.
Then when
Erickson's
I
tweet,
printed this
so I
off for
couldn't
you
guess
because I made just a generic printout sheet.
I beat Jay again by the
It was-
guess the lines, Serge, just so you know.
I'm so angry right now.
It's all knotted up
You
going
don't
in.
need to bring that up.
What do you mean?
Then by the time I printed this, with this generic sheet, it's Vikings -4.5. It is all the way up to the Vikings -5.5.
Are you kidding me?
I am not kidding you. No Dalvin Cook, right?
Yeah, but that other running back is a bowling ball.
Okay.
Dalvin Cook and Alexander Madison are both questionable for the Vikings. And Jimmy Graham, Alex Light, Dean Lowry, and Blake Martinez are all questionable for the Packers. Nobody's listed as out.
-5.5 against the division-leading Packers.
Money lines, -240 for the Vikings, +200 for the Packers. Over-under is 47.
To quote a person that's very popular with this show, my good friend Matt Erickson, this Packers team is special. It's a special kind of
They're
team,
not
Jay.
special. They're soft.
We're going to win this game, Jay. And I'll take the Packers plus the points all day.
You think they're going to win straight up?
Yes, sir.
5.5 is crazy,
It's totally crazy.
especially a divisional game. I will take the points. I don't know if they're going to win it straight up. I can't tell you that, but I'm going to take the 5.5. I'm taking the Packers.
I'm with Troy. I think they're going to win it straight up.
I think Green Bay's going to win this one straight up as well.
Oh,
Green Bay. Why, okay,
Erickson,
that's-
I want you right now to do a
I
jumping
hope-
jack,
I
followed
hope-
by a somersault, and then a
hope
round
he-
off.
I hope he went to the bathroom and missed us saying that. But okay, this goes right along with my Tom Brady. Why would you bet against Aaron Rodgers in this game? So you
This
wanna
just this
no,
just
Jay,
reeks.
what you were talking about, divisional game. This is that divisional game you're talking about.
Yeah,
This is
good
that
point,
one
yeah.
that matters. This is that Green Bay Packer team that they're going to pull this one out.
And Serge, you nailed it on the head. Serge, your words truly do matter today, more than ever.
Aaron Rodgers can say that Jay Foster says we're soft, and we're going to prove
happy
to them.
Oh, yeah.
Happy Thursday.
Yeah, you
Bulletin
just you
board
gave,
material.
Aaron, listen, I think that defense is
Bulletin board
playing better
material.
there. Aaron, yeah, this just reeks Aaron Rodgers saying, I'm just gonna light you up. I'm gonna just tear it up. All the receivers are healthy. He's gonna grab Geronimo Allison by the head and smack him a few times, saying, if you drop another ball, I'm gonna kick you square in the nuts.
Yep, in the nards. We'll
Yeah.
do that because we don't say that enough.
Nards.
All right, Adam,
Hey, Julie.
thank you for spending time with us. What's going on
Absolutely,
down at Front Street? What's new? What's going to happen? New Year's, the restaurant, everything. What's going on?
We're just getting ready for the holidays. Make sure to come down this weekend. Get your merchandise, your gift cards, your Growler of the Month baskets. Shop for the beer lover in your life.
Love it. Thank you so much for tolerating us today and with our late
Anytime,
start
guys.
and everything.
Hey,
We
and make sure
appreciate
you have
it.
a Merry Christmas. Tell Tim and everybody down there at Front Street from the Hasslers.
Absolutely.
Same to you guys.
You guys have a great Christmas. I know we probably won't see you until next year.
I'll see him next Friday. You may not be around, but he'll be on Friday if he's around. We'll talk. We'll text. All right. So we got to take a break. When we come back,
Hopefully Jay doesn't have to do a remote next Friday.
Nope. Not at all. T-Roy.
I love you. I'm sorry.
When we
did-
come
that
back,
was
we're
a-
going to have Adam Ross from Hawkeye Headquarters on.
That was
take
me.
We're going to take a quick break, and you want to
All right. I got it. I got it right in my head. Hey,
Okay.
Quad Cityans, you need to stop going to your social media sites, asking everybody where to get your oil changed, who does the best tattoo work, or where you're going to grab some lunch, right, Serge?
That's right, T-Roy.
All you need to do is grab your Locals Levis guide. It has an easy-to-navigate table of contents to help you find what you're looking for. Or you can go to localslevis.com, click on Quad Cities, and browse your favorites. They even rank the most popular places for you. So make sure you check them out. Those are our friends from Locals Levis, your guide to the best. All right, everybody, we're back here at the Rhythm City Casino. You're listening to Don't Hassle So Local on AM 1170, brought to you by our friends at Dunright Satellite and Dish. We have our friend Adam Rosso from Hawkeye Headquarters in the house. Adam.
Let's go. Merry Christmas to everybody.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, so somber days around the headquarters with the passing of the legend Hayden Fry. And I understand you had some one-on-ones with Coach Ferentz this week.
Yeah, and you and I just talked here before I hopped on. I mean, 90 years. What can you say? It's obviously a somber moment, but I think the last 48 hours or so have just shown just what he meant to the state, what he meant to everybody he came in contact with, whether you played football for him, whether you coached with him, or even if you're just a fan that maybe met him once or twice. So just a lot of cool stories coming in. And, yeah, I went over and talked to Kirk yesterday for our pre-bowl interview, but obviously most of the interview, the first half of it was about Hayden and just – kind of what struck him when he got hired in 1981 when he came out, and just the things he learned, and obviously just how much he meant to Coach Ferentz. And, the interesting thing was that his assistant, Rita Foley, who was the same administrative assistant for Hayden all those years, had mentioned to Kirk that the Holiday Bowl was Hayden's favorite bowl. Said obviously he loved going to the Rose Bowl, but the Holiday Bowl was one that he just had a special spot in his heart. And Kirk and I were just kind of talking. It's weird how it works sometimes, right? Like,
right.
Just the symmetry, and Iowa hadn't been back there. It's the last year the Big Ten is involved with the Holiday Bowl. They get the bid, and then a couple weeks later Hayden passes. So, it's just interesting stuff like that where it just makes you think, I guess.
All the fun stories about just how he was. Like, he was this insanely intelligent dude that kind of threw off that kind of like the line from Ray Charles, that country duh.
Yeah, like just like the Southern drawl, and like I'm gonna play off like I'm just dumb and whatever.
You're just gonna think I'm some sort of redneck or whatever, and then I'm just gonna sneak up and get you, and just things like the story about how he horsed around with Schembechler.
Yeah.
And you love that because Schembechler was historically a red ass, constant red ass. And the fact that Hayden got him, you really like that.
Not that you didn't hear these stories before, Rosso, but you're from Minnesota, but come down here. But now when Coach passes and you get to hear more of them, is it different to be like, holy crap, this guy really made a huge difference?
I think the magnitude that he connected with the fans, maybe struck me. The guys that play for Kirk say the same thing. When you play for a coach that's successful and that impactful in your life, anybody who's played sports at a high level is going to tell you how much they meant to them. I know that. You hear it with Kirk, like I said, you hear it with Hayden. It's the magnitude and the scope that he connected with Iowans. I think that's really interesting to me, partially because he is this West Texas guy.
Yeah.
He rolls up there, he coaches at high schools and then 2 colleges down in Texas, and he comes to Iowa City kind of flying by the seat of his pants, right? He doesn't know anybody up here. He doesn't know what the fan base is like.
But the
and
fact
then
that he 17 straight losing seasons.
Yes.
Yeah.
And to come in there to commission the making of the Tiger Hawk, to changing the uniforms to the style. I mean, when we had Quinn early on, Quinn was like, I was a Steeler fan when I was a kid. I saw them Hawkeye uniforms. I loved them. And of course, it just made sense. He just made things that made sense.
And he kind of, I watched the coverage the other night with Dave Revson, and I didn't realize how it just been Michigan and Ohio State for 13 straight years they went to the Rose Bowl, one or the other.
Yeah.
And that's something that I think that's how it got elevated to national status. That's why he's a Hall of Famer. When you do something in Iowa, like it or not, it's an Iowa thing first and foremost. Always will be, just because it's Iowa. But when you tap into that national, the national spotlight, and you're able to make an indent and obviously go to the Rose Bowl 3 times, multiple upsets of Ohio State and Michigan, it's just an interesting kind of microcosm of the way he did things and the way he impacted not only people here but around the country. And I think the fact that he was a psychology major, going back to your point, T-Roy, that was a lot of that kind of, not rope-a-dope, but you know what I mean? Like a rope-a-dope situation where
exactly.
We're going to have the punter.
Suck you in.
We're going to have the punter fumble 10 snaps against Michigan and have Schembechler wonder what the hell is going on. Stuff like that. Or a couple players that I talked to this week, former players, said, by the time they were seniors or fifth-year guys, you would know what type of message he was going to have each week by who the opponent was. So they were saying, every year against Northwestern, they were the worst team in the Big Ten. They were the worst team in the country. He was so on them, riding them about every minute thing because he didn't want them to overlook Northwestern. But when they played Michigan or they played Nebraska or they played a top 10 team, he was loosey-goosey, joking around, just couldn't be more confident in his guys and having
Same
fun.
thing with
And
Iowa State. Yeah.
it's all
And
some
then
sort of mind
They
game.
would beat the piss out of Northwestern, and that's why to this day, Mike Greenberg hates Iowa to this day
Yeah, he does.
because of how much they would just beat the
He
piss
says
out.
it.
Yeah.
He's like, they would run the score up on us. I hated Hayden Fry, and I'm like, well, that's what you get.
T-Roy
Sorry.
on Wednesday, because it was a very packed show, and it was right afterwards, and we glossed over it quickly, but like Hayden Fry was a big deal to us growing up.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Like it would like
He was an iconic. Listen,
Like
for me
Rosso,
as a
when-
kid, it was Chuck Long, and then Hayden Fry.
Yeah, and when
Like,
you
it
brought up
was there.
when you're like, okay, how does this? Where does the Florida Rosedale rank? And I'm like, it's a big deal. Is it bigger than anything else? Like, and I said to T-Roy, and we talked about it on Wednesday. I said, I never shook the guy's hand, but he was like everything. Like it was like Iowa football was him. Obviously, there's Chuck Long, and
But when I was a kid, Hayden Fry to me was more important than Governor Branstad at the time.
100%.
I mean, I knew who Terry Branstad was, but
Yeah.
Hayden Fry was way more important than him in my
Yeah.
life, in my world. I mean, and I know like sometimes I've been critical of Coach Ferentz for maybe the losses to Iowa State, which haven't been very many recently, and the losses to Northwestern. I always get mad. I'm like, Hayden Fry never lost to those teams. But
Yeah.
the one thing you can say about Coach Ferentz is he truly did carry the torch. Whether I'm critical on those
Yeah.
two little minute details, he carried the torch and is as much of a class act as Hayden.
I think it was Adam Jacoby wrote that at for Blackheart Gold Pants or whatever, that he's a worthy, a worthy next coach, a worthy follower, a worthy
Oh.
torchbearer. Like
Yeah.
that's not easy to do.
They
When your
could-
guys are talking
yes.
about Hayden Fry as the most important person in Iowa, not everybody can follow a guy like that and have as much success as Coach has had.
Exactly. To follow a damn living legend at the time and to do what he's done. Ferentz, to me, I have the utmost respect for Ferentz, despite of any criticism I ever had of him, especially when I get to talk to people that we know from here in the Quad Cities, Pat, Julian, or whoever, and they tell you the stories they tell you about Coach Ferentz. They tell you the stories about Coach Doyle. And those are guys that Ferentz has brought in and kept around the program for years, and it make the difference. And you go out and you see guys like Kittle, and when they play the game, and what was Kittle, a 2-star recruit?
He was the day of signing
Yep.
of college football.
Right.
Like
I mean,
Division
look
I
at that
signing.
dude now. I mean, I'm telling you, Kittle's going to go down as one of the greatest tight ends to ever play this game.
I think that's why Kaker loves him so much, because it was the day of, and
Yeah.
they got a hold of him that day. All right, real quick though, put it out there. We've said it before. We've talked about it. Is Ferentz the fourth face on the Mount Rushmore?
Well, it's Dan and Hayden.
And Niall.
Niall.
Yeah.
Man, it's close. I mean,
Where's it Chuck?
Chuck's up there, but you got to.
Where's it Anger?
Pat, judging by a couple pictures I saw, I don't know if his face would fit on the Mount Rushmore anymore. Jeez.
That's the backside of it. Pat's on the backside. He does that.
It's gotta be Kirk, right?
That's a tough one. You guys would know
we're
better than
leaving
I do.
out- we're
I
leaving
would
out some
say,
basketball legends.
I would say
You got Street. You got Chris Street. You got to think about Dr. Tom, maybe.
It all it all depends
Luke.
on how you
Luke.
want to define it. I think you're right with Gable and Hayden are two shoe-ins.
Yeah.
The other two spots,
Niall won the Heisman, so he's got to go.
and Kinnick and Street, different reasons they're in Iowa lore, but the similar. I mean, they both died way too young. They both were tragically
Right.
beloved by everybody and tragically died. Right. So that's another aspect to this. I mean, what you just said, what Kirk's done, I think everybody agrees with you, Troy. Like, say what you want about the monotony and the mundaneness of the program. You can't tell me he hasn't been one of the most impressive successors to a legendary coach in college football history. Think about some of the
Yes.
legends that have come. Tom Osborne. I don't even remember who replaced Tom Osborne. They
no,
didn't do
because
that
they
well.
didn't do anything
Exactly.
good.
You know what I'm saying? It's stuff like that.
I mean,
Frank
Lloyd
Solich?
Carr replaced
I think it was
Schembechler.
Solich, yeah.
Lloyd Carr did a pretty good job replacing Schembechler, but after Carr, they struggled.
The thing is consistently. So
After
Right.
Bear Bryant, was it Stallings? I don't even know.
You've
Down
been
in
on the
Bama,
show
like
for
the
2
stuff
years
like that.
in podcast too, and when we've talked about the criticism interference, you've always said one thing, Rosso, that's been consistent. You said, well, what is the other option? Do you want to go down Nebraska's thing?
Exactly.
No.
And all of us say no. And everyone who says like, oh, 7-5, 8-4, 9-3, no. If you ask them that, they go, and that's it, right?
Yeah. Would you want Scott Frost? No. I don't like the way he coaches his team. They're undisciplined, and they're trash talkers. I don't want that.
And I think the interesting thing to me about the Hayden and Kirk relationship, and actually the players all said this, and this was the thing I used on Wednesday, and it was from Craig Clark, a PV teacher who's in Columbus Junction is where he's from, played tight end. He's over at PV now. He said, I was just at a Christmas party the night he died, and he said, everybody's asking me about Hayden Fry and playing for Hayden Fry. He's like, I'm 55 years old. It's been 33 years since I last played for Coach Fry. But everybody still wants to know what it was like. And I just think that to me was that's when it dawned on me that, you know, the football success obviously was the reason everybody revered him, but he connected with Iowans and fans and everybody across the state on a whole nother level than most everybody else has at that football program, other than probably Kirk Ferentz.
Everything you just said, to
Right.
piggyback what you said, we've had Jared Kirkhoff on, who was recruited by Hayden Fry. We've had Chuck Long on. We've had Quinn Early. I think, though, you can name in the top 5 times where both of us has shut up is always been when we've asked about Coach Fry and just let them talk.
Oh,
And just like you said, like
well, my boy
people wanna
Q
ask
told
about-
the story.
Oh yeah, he sure did. Yeah.
You missed that.
What was
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
Well, I kept joking with Jay before the show,
Yeah, no.
and when we called Quinn early, and I said, Jay, I'm going to tell him that you want to call him Q. And then so I went to ask him.
I was like, don't do that. Do not do that.
So I went to ask him a question, and it just Freudianly just came out. I go, hey, Q, I got a question. And Jay just looked at me, and I'm like, why am I? Oh,
And Quinn Early just
He answered
Yeah,
it because
right,
he
yeah.
used to be calling Q, but I
Sure.
was like, I didn't feel like we were on that level yet, Quinn Early and I. And I
I
was
took
like,
it to that level.
and he just jumped right in, and now him and Q are boys.
Well,
And-
another thing that Craig Clark said, too, was we all called him Coach Fry. Everybody that played for him. Even Kirk calls him Coach Fry. Everybody calls him Coach Fry. He goes, you know who doesn't call him Coach Fry? Everybody else. Everybody calls him Hayden. You guys call him Hayden. Most everybody that around the state calls him Hayden. It was like they were on a first-name basis with him, and most people never met the guy. And it's so interesting to me, and I'll keep saying it. That's the most fascinating thing to all this with me. You knew he would be revered. You knew his on-field stuff spoke for itself, right? The resume, everything else. But just the way people felt that connection to the guy. And he's not an Iowan, right? He's not one of you guys. He's not one of
No.
us. There's a joke, in Minnesota. Oh, they're one of us. Like there's always a way to find some connection to Minnesota. Well, Hayden didn't have any, but he endeared himself to everybody in 2 decades, and that's the legacy for me. Is just
well,
how
when
much
he
of an
retired,
impact he
you
made.
remember Jay? His famous line: "Always be a hawk.
Yeah, always be a hawk. Yeah.
Always be a hawk."
Yeah, I mean, there's again, you look at things and are there some times where you look back and like when you're young and like I was in my 20s and like Hayden's doing this and we've talked about when we had Tavian on. They didn't really believe in like the 2-back system back then. Cedric Shaw was there. That's the only thing that I would be like. But again, that's my own homerism and be like, Tavian was a better running back and Hayden never wanted to lose that Texas pipeline. That's the only thing I could say that would be negative, and that's not even negative, because Cedric Shaw was a great running back.
Yeah.
So
they both were.
yeah,
It's a weird thing, and I've had a couple coaches I can think of off the top of my head that have been like this. It's a weird thing when you have a coach that you'll do anything for, and I think all the great ones. That's the simplest way to sum it up. That anybody who's in contact with them, whether it's another coach, the players, the staff, you'll do anything for that guy, and that's I think what a lot of this is. That's why the good ones are good. That's why the great ones are great, because no matter what, they can break you down all week of practice during the game, they'll have all the confidence, and it's just to make you perform the best you can, to be the best man you can, and there aren't too many people that do that. There, I don't know what he was in that college football list when we talked about it last week. I don't know where Hayden was. And Kirk not being on there is a travesty.
Unbelievable.
That to me is ridiculous.
Unbelievable.
But, I mean, when you think about it, there's 140 of the 150 guys are probably that type of coach where you'll do anything for them.
Yeah.
That's why they win titles. That's why you win conference championships, national championships, because you believe that this guy will take you anywhere you need to go. And that's just a cool thing. And for Iowa's program to have two guys like that over the last 42 years is unbelievable.
When we say, and again,
because you could just as easily get some a-hole like you're saying, T-Roy.
Yeah.
You can't stand that in 3 years everybody's like, screw this guy.
We had him. His name was Steve Alford. We had him in basketball.
We hammer this, and it's weird. And to sit there and say, and T-Roy, I'd say yours too, and all of us, but our Hawkeye historical football, to only know two coaches is insane.
Yeah, literally, I didn't know.
And to be that proud of the two, not just like, oh, he's just here.
When I got to know Iowa football, it was because of Hayden Fry. Yeah. I was like, oh.
This isn't like some guy who's out, and no offense to Coe College, who's just there every year and he grinds it out. Like, oh, he's just here. It's impressive. And there's nothing else. And like I said, you've always been consistent, Ross. So it'd be like, for those of you out there who are upset about 8-4 or whatever else, what is the alternative? And no one can ever answer alternative.
Yep.
Because there's just not somebody there.
And there'll come a time where I asked Kirk about it yesterday. I said, all right, you're the last guy from that 81 staff still coaching as a head coach. Bill Snyder, last year was his last year. There's nobody else.
What did he say?
He just said, he goes, I'm not ready yet. I try not to think about that. He goes, because I asked.
Are you the first to bring that to his attention?
No, I think privately people talk to him about it. But I just said, hey, Bill was the last one. And he told me off camera that Snyder was battling cancer. He's super frail. He just saw him. He said, Bill's not doing great. He said, but he seemed like he's getting over it. But, and I said, well, that's basically why Coach Fry retired, right? He said, yeah. And I said, so how do you know? Other than your health, how do you know it's time? And he goes, well, I've talked to a lot of retired coaches. He said, the peaks and valleys don't become peaks and valleys like they do. The feeling, the nervousness of preparing and getting ready and wanting just to compete, he's like, that goes away. And when that goes away, all the coaches I've talked to said that's when you know it's time, because you don't get that feeling anymore.
Holy crap, this is amazing.
So, he said, I'm not there yet. He goes, I'm not going to coach till I'm 79 like Bill Snyder. He said that flat out, but
he had to come back.
But Coach,
yeah,
how old is Coach now?
64, 65, right? Right in there?
He doesn't look 64, 65.
He doesn't. He looks good.
I just think it's interesting to me, Bump Elliott dying too. I just think when your mentors die, and I don't know this because I'm not old enough, does that give you more perspective? Do you start thinking about it more, saying, hey, man, I maybe I do need to start planning for after I'm done. I don't know. Does it hit that close to home? He talked about it was like his dad dying. Hayden was like his dad dying. It's like when you got a mentor like that, it's.
I agree with that. Yeah, I would see that 100%. I would see that. He would say that. Well, I know we said this, and I know I talked to people before, people from Pennsylvania, and I was like, what's going on? This is way before the Penn State situation happened. Joe Pa's got his own paternalisms. He's the way he talks to the media, it's not really good. What is this guy? This guy's delusional. And they're like, the person said to me, I'm afraid if he retires, he's going to pass away just like Bear Bryant did. He lives for it. And
he did.
The whole thing happened, and then cancer just hit him right away, and he was gone. And when you live to coach, and I'm not saying France is that way, not at all, because I think he's got so much more with his family, his wife, and everything they do. But like you said, when you lose that desire, then you have to find some, and hopefully, you got to find something else that you put the passion in. I think he's got plenty involved in that.
But then we tangentially off the interview. The interview will be on. We're going to do it as a digital special next week. I'll plug that on Hawkeye headquarters and rquadcities.com. But then we talked about Bob Stoops after. I said, Bob, is he angling for an NFL job? Like, why would you leave Oklahoma? And he was like, Bob's got a good gig now. Is he going to Is he doing XFL?
He's doing XFL. Yeah,
he's like, I think he's doing it.
He's doing my Dallas.
He'll be the coach and the general manager of the Dallas Renegades, I believe.
But he said,
my team.
He said, the only thing I told Bob was there may be 4 or 5 teams in the NFL you want to work with, organizations, owners. Other than that, why deal with it? He's like, they could fire you within a year or two.
Yeah.
Like, why come back? Why put all your eggs in that basket? And then I interjected. I said, yeah, especially when you're at Oklahoma, and that's probably a top 3 or 4 job in the entire college football landscape.
Yeah.
Why would you leave Oklahoma to go to some shitty Miami franchise, right? Like, it's stuff like that where, like, I think the perspective that these guys have is a lot more thought out than we all think. Does that make sense? That, like,
no, I hear
when you hear all these rumors or like
I'm
a Matt
hearing you out.
Campbell and like that stuff,
But you
just,
you expect with I mean if you think back in the last 20 years of how many rumors had been swirling around Ferentz leaving the program,
No.
and now when you hear that story and you think about what his mentality was, he's like, yeah, now you get why he never
there
left.
were only a few guys that and there were really only a few. I'm sure Baltimore was one.
Baltimore was a big. I was just googling
You know,
it right
I'm
now.
sure
as you speak.
Baltimore was one.
Baltimore was a big one before they hired Harbaugh.
Maybe
That was the
Indianapolis.
one
I don't know
was
because
going
he had
to.
connections
I was
with Indianapolis
Just googling it right now as you said
with
that.
Joe Moore and stuff.
but-
I don't know.
That owner Irsay, not well liked. Sorry, I know we cap on Jerry Jones a lot, but Jim Irsay.
Yeah, I know, but
I mean-
maybe he is internally. I don't know. We another tangent. You guys, we could talk about this all day. I should have recorded this, but so before we started the interview, we were talking about the San Diego Stadium because a couple of the Minnesota media members that have been at the Holiday Bowl 3-4 years ago said the stadium's not good.
No.
He's like,
yeah.
you can tell why Spanos and them left, and they obviously didn't get public funding. So I said to Kirk, well, I heard it's, the stadium isn't anything to write home about. He said, yeah, that's what we heard too. He said, they just couldn't get it done out there. They just couldn't get the funding passed. He goes, that's kind of what happened in Cleveland. And, he's talking about Art Modell. He goes, Art was fighting. Art wanted to get that. They didn't want to move the Cleveland Browns. He said, but that stadium was so bad that eventually he had no other choice as a business to move. He goes, I never thought they were going to move. He said, I actually, in 1994, you guys will love this. He goes, I was talking to Bill, and I said, Bill, I think I'm going to write in my contract that I want to be tied to you if you ever leave, that I'd like to, stipulate that if my contract's still valid, I'd like to move with you as the coach. And so Belichick's fine with that. And then he goes, that offseason, there were serious rumors that they were going to move the Browns to L.A. after the Rams had left. And he said, there's no way in hell I was moving to L.A. He's like, I'm a Northeast guy all my life. I'm not going to L.A. So he's like, then I didn't write that in my contract. And he's like, Bill got fired a year later, and away we went, right? And then he was just like,
That's awesome.
So it's stuff like that where, like, I don't know, like Art Modell, right? Say that name.
Yeah.
Most of the NFL fans are like, oh, what a jerk. What an
Yeah.
a-hole.
Well, no, the Cleveland fans.
Right? I mean,
Yeah.
so, same thing with Irsay moving them out of Baltimore, right? He pulled the same type of thing. They just moved, and they moved.
I don't
Irsay's
think
old
my
man
thing
moved.
with
Did that at
Irsay
which
is
one
more
did
the-
it? Which one did it at midnight?
That was
Irsay.
Baltimore when
Yeah,
they moved.
yeah.
So
Irsay.
it's stuff like that where, like, I don't know. I when you hear them talk, that's I guess it's more calculated than we all think in the media, right? When you guys think
Yeah.
about it, you're like, oh man, like, yeah, Irsay's a loose cannon and he's a drunk and he's had problems. That's all fair, but like, maybe he's a fantastic pocket. Like, Jerry. You hear the stories. He treats his employees great. People like working for the Cowboys. They like being there. He's just overbearing. Now Dan Snyder, you don't hear a lot of that. Like, oh man, he treats his guys right. Like people in the media that work for
No,
the
you
Cowboys.
just hear he's an idiot.
Yeah. So it's all perspective, but it's fun hearing Kirk talk about that type of stuff and just the global outlook that he has, where, like you're saying, all these rumors come up, like these rumors with Campbell and Iowa State. He might not be considering ever going to the NFL. He might want to stay in college. He might be saying, all right, it's Iowa State or it's going to be Notre Dame and that's it. I'm going to be a lifer. Like, but everybody wants to, he's a hot name, so we throw him in there. Lincoln Riley, same thing. Maybe Lincoln Riley has no desire to go to the Cowboys. But people are throwing him out there because he's a hot name.
Yeah.
Oklahoma's a great job. I mean,
we've brought it up about that, and I can't remember who it was that said it, but I think Urban Meyer is probably going to be the guy that coaches the Cowboys.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I'm happy about it or not.
what about him to the Redskins?
Urban?
Yeah, he was there. No?
He was there
Haskins, Alex
hanging out.
Smith, he was
Well.
there. I mean, I don't know.
He's got ties to Zeke too, so.
That's true.
Well, I guess since if we're going to do the famous
if we're going to recklessly
If we're
speculate.
gonna do the
recklessly,
famous-
yeah.
If we're going to do the famous roster recklessly speculate, that makes sense what you're saying because he doesn't.
McLaurin, the receiver, there's
Yeah,
Plus,
you don't,
Jerry
you don't,
Jerry's
you don't have
awesome.
and you don't have the
They have talent in
Jerry
Washington.
Jones overdoing it. But
Yeah, see, that's where
But
I
you
think.
got Dan Snyder.
Yeah.
It's a different.
Yeah.
Who's better, Dan or Jerry? And I think you. I think if you look at what if you look at what Dallas has done, they have an incredible tree of people in the organization that help draft them, and their drafts have been good. All that stuff, all their scouting, everything's good. It comes down to the X's and O's. And Jerry even said, "I'm the man that makes the decision who's doing that. I have to be better at it, yes." But I think
Jerry's running on borrowed time, though, isn't he? You haven't been in an NFC Championship game since when? The 90s, right?
as an owner, he's not on. Jerry's not on borrowed.
You know what I'm saying, though? Is his reputation.
Yeah.
It's
I
been
think Jerry
since-
knows right now the way the team is being ran. They are getting the talent, and they got back to what they need to do. And I think they haven't lost sight of it. They're still drafting
I
well.
agree with you on that, but I still think, like, if it's in the reverse, let's say the Redskins win 3 Super Bowls in the next 10 years, and the Cowboys do nothing. So, like, then
The
are
Eagles
they on
winning
equal
that
footing?
Super Bowl was bad.
Is Dan Snyder and Jerry Jones, are they on equal footing then? Because it just Snyder's been an owner for 20 years. They haven't done anything. But now if they have some run with Urban or somebody, Jamie Johnson, Urban Meyer, like the parallel.
Yeah.
Urban comes in and wins 3 Super Bowls. Is Dan Snyder now revered like Jerry was? Because
No.
Jerry did it at the beginning of his tenure,
Well, the
right?
reason
Then he's
the
just
reason I think
then he's just
Urban goes to Dallas because Urban said, "Listen, if the Dallas Cowboys call, you take the call."
And then
It's the
everything
Dallas
else,
Cowboys.
Everything else he said, I have no desire to answer a call because that's the one.
That's the
phone call.
one phone call I'll answer.
Now, if Urban does that and he goes to Washington, all he is compared to Joe Gibbs, not Dan Snyder, and makes whatever else. He's now coaching thing.
He goes
Whereas
to
you
Dallas
go to
and
Dallas,
he wins that.
Now it is like, how does he get along? As soon as he wins it, God, and we have 6 minutes. We could do this for another. If he does this and wins, and say Urban goes, it's still like in the offseason it's going to be, how are they getting along? I
Yeah.
heard Urban
Yep.
didn't show up
Yep.
at the offices on time last Monday. I heard Urban didn't want to do a press conference, and Jerry was there on time. but
See,
Urban-
I don't think that the thing that after every Cowboys game, T-Roy, who talks to the media first? Jerry. You can go to
Well-
NFL Network postgame, it's Jerry. And I don't think Urban Meyer wants that.
See,
I think he'd say, Jerry, you got to tone it back a little bit. And I don't think Jerry wants to.
Okay,
They go to Jerry though.
they
But
do.
he could open. He could
But
say,
they
you know
go
what,
to
I want
Jerry
to say
because
that
there's
coach.
controversial losses. If it's a big win, they're going and talking to the players on the field.
When my question is this: when is it that you, and maybe I'm a little different, maybe I look at things a little different. When is it that you just go, I just want to coach an NFL team. I'll let him be in front of the cameras. And
Oh,
the
I mean,
microphones.
there's probably $10 million that's going to
Yeah.
come his way, right? He's going
But
to
he
get
goes-
$10 million a
I
year,
mean-
probably. I mean,
When
Just
does he,
bring-
when
bring
does he just
me-
go? I
bring-
just want to coach. Fine, let him. You guys go straight to him in the locker room, and go after the locker room. At
but I
the press
think your
conference, go
ego.
to-
We've said this
I
before.
know,
Your
I
ego.
know.
These guys have egos. They don't like. That's why this doesn't work sometimes. Because your
Urban's had
egos.
success everywhere he's been.
He's a great coach.
Utah,
Absolutely.
Florida, Ohio State.
He's in the top 150 by ESPN.
He's of the last 30, 40
Still
years.
mad about that?
He's the second best coach in college of the last 30 years. I don't think there's any question about that. I don't think there's any question. Saban and him. He's better than Stoops. He's gone multiple places, 3
Yes.
places,
And
and gone to
won.
BCS
Places.
games and won national titles at 2 of them.
Well, he could have, would have, should have at Utah.
Yeah,
They wouldn't let him in because it was Utah.
that's what I'm saying. I mean, he's better than Stoops in my opinion. He's better than anybody else you put up there. It's him and Saban since the late '90s.
All right,
Really.
well, you got me convinced. I want him to coach Cowboys.
Uh,
Anybody but Garrett right
We
now.
have
I
2
have to
minutes.
end this. I really do. I can't.
so you're heading out next week for
Yep,
the game.
Monday morning.
What's the plan? What's on your agenda that people can look for at Hawkeye headquarters?
A lot of good stuff. Yeah, we're gonna Monday. Actually, the Monday story is the one I think I'm most excited about. It's about Tristan Wirfs and his mom. Tristan basically grew up without a dad. His dad hasn't been around, so I got to talk to him, his mom, and just that whole dynamic and kind of what it means when you're a boy growing up without your dad and what it took to get over it and where he's at now. And obviously, I think he's going to the NFL. I think most people do, and I think it's just an interesting kind of perspective into a guy like that.
That's going to be Monday on Hawkeye headquarters.
Monday
That's
on
awesome.
Monday on
Yeah.
online and on Channel 4. Tuesday, we're on the USS Roosevelt, which I talked about a couple weeks ago. We're on that in the morning. Iowa practice in the afternoon, so we'll have the ship reaction, and then we'll have some practice reaction, start talking about the game. Christmas Day is the zoo, so I'll be live out at the zoo.
Watch out for the Kodiak
I'm pretty
bear.
psyched for that. I think
That
that's going to be
Kodiak
pretty
bear
cool.
is huge, and he takes huge
That's what
dumps.
I'm saying, yeah.
Huge dumps.
Huge.
The Kodiak bear is giant. That's my favorite display of all. That and the polar bear one at the Lincoln Park Zoo in Chicago.
And then
You got to go eat at Oscars.
But I say Alberto's. You need to get me just send me a picture, Rosso, of you knocking down a carne asada burrito from Alberto's.
Alberto's, okay.
Bryce
Carne
Miller,
asada burrito,
Bryce
guac
Miller,
cheese, sour cream.
who wrote the article
and-
about
and pico de gallo.
the way he said go to Oscars Seafood.
Oscar seafood and have the smoked fish tacos.
Smoked fish taco.
Monday night will be Pack Vikings somewhere. I'll be out and
yeah.
about doing that. But Pacific time, man, that's 5 o'clock. It's like kind of wild, right? Like I'll be done with the game by 8:45.
Good looking dude like you, man, is gonna be shaking the ladies off with a stick. out there, man. You're gonna be like, hey, I'm here to do work, ladies.
But I think I'm not going to talk to you again before, right? So I'm going to say, because of the symmetry, I know we got, a minute left?
Yeah.
1 point game, just like the other Holiday Bowls that Iowa won. I'm going to say 24-23, Iowa.
All right.
1 point game. I think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be an interesting chess match between Phil Parker and that offense for USC.
I got 34-17 Hawkeyes.
All right. Thank you so much for coming on and dealing with the nonsense of today that I started. Anyway, nice talking to you, sir.
Yeah, you guys too. Have a good week.
Yeah.
We'll
And
check
safe
in the
travel.
new year.
You guys have a hassle-free weekend. We will see you. We'll talk to you on Monday. Take care, Quad City.
See you, Skip.